Hey guys, and welcome back. Now that both Yue and Tim Tom are done relieving themselves of, well, for different reasons, we're back with Blue, and we're gonna start
Wow.
off
I
with
take what? I resent that. Don't let me don't let
what?
me in with this guy.
Oh,
Dude, I masturbated with my penis.
Oh, this there goes the monetization.
I guess we can't ever make money from our YouTube anymore. So all right, so we're gonna start off Blue with what Penguin Man here thinks is a banger, and I think is it's like the sort of thing. If you play this in my car, I'm taking the orcs away from you. Time to get serious, Kirito. It's a 002K, double R. When it's close from hand stage, gains 1-5 per turn, so it's kind of cool. And when the battle opponent is reversed, choose another character with Avatar Net, rest it, and move it to an empty slot in the back row. This is called the clean cut effect because the first particularly playable iteration of this was in Persona with the Persona 4 animation Clean Cut Yukiko. I'm aware that it was in Haruhi prior to this, but like that card was really not particularly playable. Even now, it's barely playable. So I call it Clean Cut because I'm a Persona fag. Anyway, so this is a serviceable tempo play at level 0. It lets you tri-field because you get an extra attack for, well, pretty much for free as long as you get to reverse something. Not that you'll necessarily get to reverse anything, like you can't really get a runner with this unless you try fielding this card exactly, in which case, good on you, mate. Uh, but in this normal sense, you'll be attacking with like a brainstorm or back row as well. And then when you reverse something with this, you get to save that brainstorm or back row for the next time for the next turn. So you basically get an extra attack, which is like the equivalent of an extra stock, and the damage,
Well,
which is can be useful.
if you get tri-fielded first, this card is fine. Like you'll get a reverse, right?
Yeah, of course. If you get tri-fielded first, then fantastic. This gets reverse. But at the same time, some decks which tri-field first, if you knock them to level 1 the turn after that, you might suffer for it. Yeah, you're denying one reverse, but you're not denying the other two.
I mean, if you have
I mean, there's just no way around that. Like, are you not gonna field cards to attack with?
You could field like a runner, or you can field just this card and like.
Sure. I mean, this gets you an
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
attack
sure.
there too, right? I mean, it seems like a
All right.
perfectly reasonable,
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
pretty okay play,
Like,
pretty good play.
I think that's fine. Like, my disputes with this are twofold. The first one is, I think runners are better at level 0, and the only reason you play this card is for the interactions with other cards. And I also dispute this card's significance after level 0, which is definitely a point of contention because there've been some discussions off cast about how good this card can be as a transition play between level 1 and level 2.
all right, let me just. I think so. Ever since let me just perspective this a little bit, real quick, real. Okay, so I think I really set a precedence about this whole runner being super good thing. Like I like indoctrinated this idea that runners is super good, and no one thinks about just.
Dude, don't give yourself that much credit.
Oh my god, do you not see the fucking thing? Oh my god.
I'm not going to screen share. I'm screen sharing.
But no, okay. So
What the?
following it up with turn Ricky play, and it's like super golden. But now when you can go turn 1 runner play into turn 2 clean cut that almost always will have a reverse if they don't have a runner. It's like instead of Ricky, which is a costed plus, this is costless. So you get 2 turns of costless. It's just more stock, more value. This card is just too much value, dude.
No. But
This is the single best turn 2 play after runner in the game. It's better than Ricky.
no,
It's
I
actually
disagree. I disagree. Do you realize that Ricky is a selective plus, whereas this card is just—it's like not even a plus. It's a tempo play.
Yeah, but you have a level 1 combo that if you just chain the first copy will get you 2 more copies of your combo the next turn.
Yeah, but you're gonna need a second bar, and that's like you can't expect that every time. Nor can you expect to have both runner and this every game. So like, as compared to either Ricky or runner, which are both serviceable, that's a good turn one play by itself, and like that's universal. And then Ricky's just a good turn two play no matter what else you have because it sets you up for level one with like there's an incredible amount of efficiency there. I get that Sword Art doesn't have a Ricky, but well, it has Ideal Self, which I don't count as a Ricky for this purpose. But the selectivity there is so significant that I don't think you can make that comparison and say that this is a strictly better turn two play than a hypothetical actual Ricky that Sword Art does not have.
So I did okay. So
Right. So, but lacking that Ricky. What?
Yeah, sure.
what
This
is-
can be the best turn two play for Sword Arts. That's something I can. I mean, I'm still not entirely on board with that, but I can see that being the case.
okay, what's a better turn 2 play? What's the best follow? What's the best? Because before SAO had to like pick at with their bombs. They literally picked,
Okay, if you wanna try field, this is definitely the best turn two play, I guess. The only other competitor is the fake Ricky Arsenal that we'll talk about.
There's
in yellow.
also a Yuna that does a similar kind of thing, but
that one's.
it's
By the
it's
time
the same kind of.
Yeah, but it's not. Well, it's similar selectivity, I guess. In fact, it might even be more selectivity based on the timing. Okay, sure. Yuna and or Asuna, they're the competitors.
yeah, but this one is the costless one, which is like, oh my god, so juicy. Okay, and then now level 1. Oh my god, this card is so good at level 1. This card is actually so good. I can't even.
Uh,
I don't know about level one. Like,
I
where
mean,
you getting
you're
this
not
power?
you're not brainstorming, right?
Yeah, on that specific turn, you're not brainstorming. But when I do double Yuki, or when I go Yuki and double Yuki plays,
I mean, sometimes you have to brainstorm to get a Yuki.
that's fair. But like,
In
if you-
fact,
if
a
you
lot of the
have
times you'll have to brainstorm to get a Ricky.
to get a Ricky or
Sorry, to get a Yuki. My
No,
bad.
but okay, you want to do the single Yuki into double Yuki thing. Now your other Yuki search doesn't need to be a Yuki because this card exists. You can search for something else, and then you can just move that Yuki to the back. It's actually so good because you can actually use your Yuki to not go into double Yuki, which I thought was actually just not very good. Like it's good, but like I'd rather the Yuki search be something else. And this
Yeah,
it's
but
actually
you. Oh, well, okay, sure. You have one Yuki, one bar. That's a reasonable expectation. Yeah, sure. But what if they went like triple level one? This isn't getting reverse.
I mean, in like these days, man, like this type of stuff always will get a reverse, man.
I'm playing rewrite. I triple field Chizuru.
I mean, sure.
I'm playing ReZero. I field Amelia and 2 pucks.
I mean,
I'm playing Persona 5. I field 3 of that stupid 7K Joker I don't actually play.
what I can, dude, you can find a reverse, man. It's like,
Make your argument between level 1 and 2.
Well,
That's the
no,
more
the
interesting
Joker. You
one.
have to make it. The Joker. You have if you make it strong against Yuki, it's gonna be weak to this Kirito.
Okay, whatever. Like, who cares if the Yuki reverses it, right? Is that actually something you care about?
I think it's more so who cares if this Kirito reverses it.
Okay, sure. Like, this is like the weakness of that combo anyway. Let's use a different example.
Sure,
And how
sure.
about, what's a good example? I can't think
We
of
could go back to ReZero. That was a perfectly fine example.
Well, I mean, I just want to give more examples of why I don't think Kirito is going to get consistent reverse at level 1, and why I think he should be talking about the 1 to 2 transition, which I think is both the more valid argument and the more interesting argument.
Is 6K enough to get a reverse on something?
How are you getting it 6K?
One married,
What?
literally one married life.
Sure,
Just-
you just forego the
Okay,
brainstorm.
sure.
Yeah,
You're stacking all the
you
power.
have the married
Stacking all
life.
the power.
Well, on that turn, you weren't brainstorming anyways, right?
Sure.
I only run
I mean,
3
that is a real cost. That is a real. That's something you're sacrificing.
I don't think it's a real cost because instead of brainstorming and getting a plus, now you're using clean cut to get a plus.
But the brainstorm is just mill. It's good for it's good for deck function regardless. At that stage of the game.
Yeah. Like, you can't even get over like Gochiusa. You can't get over Railgun. You definitely can't do anything to Attack on Titan. Milky
The
Homes,
thing is-
obviously not.
The thing is, like, you have cards in your hand, man. If you can make this play efficiently, I would rather do this than brainstorming. But if I
Oh,
can't,
no.
I'll just
That's
draw.
fair.
Okay.
If you can make this play, fantastic. I'm disputing how often you can make this play, and whether that amount of time is enough for you to justify including this as more than like an advanced summon condition and a decent turn 2 play. Because that's already enough to think about playing this card. I'm planning on giving this card a perfectly reasonable playable rating because it's playable just on that alone. I don't really rate the edge cases past that very highly. That's the discussion.
Okay. So there's this mid-game advantage of this card, and no one's playing this card and saying, like, when I present this card as being good meta plus, the first thing I say is not, yo, dude, check out the sick level 1 synergy this card has. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, hell no. But I'm just saying a card that's very, like, when the hell is runner significantly better than it was on turn 1 and for the rest of the game? You know what I mean? It's the same idea. So this card's really good on the second turn after runner first turn play, but it also has better application mid game than runner has in the mid game. So why aren't we criticizing runner but criticizing this card? Because these things are real applications that are actually.
Because runner always gets the plus. Like, it gets the plus at in a way that the opponent cannot interact with.
Okay.
And like, the runner's mill, I don't count that as actual mid-game utility. But the fact of the matter is, the runner will almost always get you your plus. We're talking like probably 90% or so when everything is all considered. It'll get a plus. And it might even get multiple pluses if the opponent cancels. This clean cut card will get a plus only if the opponent is 1, not playing a runner, 2, having bad luck, in which case anything gets a plus, and, well, that's about it really. Like, your opponent needs to have basically a shitter, because this card as being a 3/5 needs a support to get over, like, some other card. Well, I guess you can tie and they'd be fine. Yeah, okay, fine. You can tie with any 3/5 and be fine. But if your opponent is playing runners, which a lot of people do because apparently you indoctrinated them all.
I did.
If they're playing runners, well, look, this is what you're doing now. You're trying to counter-indoctrinate them. You didn't indoctrinate them. Runners are just obviously good. In order to get this card to be good, in order to sell these at $15 each on your storefront.
Wait, Alf, you're like, your voice, I don't know if it's your recording, but it sounds like you really sped up.
No,
it's probably just. Yeah, I'm probably just talking fast. Yeah, look, I don't deny that this card is playable. It is a reasonable card. It is quite often the best turn to play. When you do use it in the mid game, when you it happens. Like I said, I mentioned Clean Cut Yukiko earlier. I've used that card and gotten people, and it's felt great. But it's never been situations where I wasn't already in a pretty decent situation, because that Clean Cut Yukiko is like a 5/5 when I attempt to kill something with it. And that's not big, like, at all. In your situation, Kirito will be at most like 6k, 6/5, which is not much bigger, and cards have only gotten bigger since I was doing Yukiko crap. And as such, I find it hard to believe that you can really make the argument for this being good meta plus, based on anything but its level 0 applications and its application as like an advanced summon enabler, which I don't think the advanced summon is particularly special, but it's certainly a factor.
Man, dude, I don't know, man. Shinobu was a niche card for you. So.
I mean, so would you give the runner meta good plus?
Which runner?
Any runner. I mean, you'd probably rate this similarly to a runner, right? Or maybe slightly worse.
Yeah, because if you're making the argument for it being a plus and not making it based on the mid-game application, then it is very similar to a runner, right?
Albeit something that's... I mean, we haven't actually had one of these that gets this big at level 0 for a while. I actually don't remember the last one. It was last one's probably like sitting Yami, but Yami is
I mean, it's 4-5.
problematic to say the least, as far as deck function is concerned, because you have to have the Yami in hand already for that effective fire.
Dude, you trapped him. He's not allowed to say that he has to give the same mark, approximately the same mark as the runner. So he can't say it's too good, otherwise the runner will get played and he won't sell these.
I mean,
But then he can't say it's bad.
Look,
Because
I think runner is better than Azusa. So I would give any runner that I think is a playable runner a Meta Good Plus rating. Like, I think runner is a better card than Azusa. So, like,
Okay.
here you go.
All
There
right.
you go.
All right. He's sticking to his guns.
I think these cheap freebie pluses are what drives a deck to be broken. Your deck can be fucking 38 vanillas, but you get two freebie pluses at 0. If you're
This
your
card-
climax-
It is. I mean, he does have a point that like all the level 0 pluses right now available to SAO are somewhat they're just fairly restrictive.
yeah, they suck. But
yeah,
that
I mean,
doesn't
like-
mean this card is artificially better. Like, this card has a poor matchup against that other good Meta Plus card you're toting, runners. Like, that's a big problem. Lots of people play runners.
Sure, but SAO wasn't
The
able.
only-
SAO wasn't really able to trifield before without like running some jank, and now it
Yeah.
has like a pretty serviceable bridge to a trifield.
Okay,
And-
sure. But, well, okay, fine. You can use up your level 0 slots for this. I think it's a bit much.
We good?
Oh, I'm on playable. He's on actual good Meta Plus. Oh, sure.
All right.
No, it seems good. It's a good opinion to have. I think it was a reasonable discussion.
I mean,
Okay.
Link Attack Xeno is a
okay.
329k. Oh, get that Kirito face. It's a 329k. Triple R. No, not triple R, double R. If you have 4 more other characters with Avatar Net, this gets -1 level in hand, so it's a relatively free advanced summon cost. When this is placed from hand to stage, or via the effective Link Attack Kirito, draw a card, and this gains 2k for the turn. So, typical draw 1, 2k, like a half-assed dig and temporary power. And relatively expensive. Pay 1, ditch 2. Up to once a turn, when your front row center slot character attacks, you may pay that cost. If you do, mill the top 3 cards of your deck. If there's at least 1 climax among them, stand this card.
Hit rate's pretty comparable to Eris. It's like in the same ballpark.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's in the same ballpark. If we're
Okay,
assuming
sure.
we're playing it at like level 2, right, or level 3, it's like there. It's obviously like if you're not very compressed, you're not gonna get this reset, but
Sure, but I think that's a benefit of Eris above this. Even if you're not compressed, Eris will continue trying to restand pretty consistently. Like 75+% chance, right?
I mean that's around the hit rate for this too, in
Yeah, fair enough.
most reasonable deck states.
Okay, so this is a serviceable advanced summon. If you're having a decent game, it's an okay restander. I'm pretty outspoken as being particularly unimpressed with the Eris profile. Like, I understand why people like it. That's not my kind of card. Like, you're chucking a few too many eggs into one basket for me to actually like the Eris.
Well, I mean, say this in a Link Attack build. We talked about this before, so this wouldn't be
Yeah,
like it's not the game plan, but like say you're put in a position where you can initiate a sort of finishing turn, you're ahead in damage, and obviously this is like another target for Kirito if you so wish.
Yeah, in that instance, it's fantastic. I'm only disputing it in the context of Eris, because
Sure.
people play Eris because they want to start attacking 5 times early level 2 every turn of the game and just keep on going like that. That's not my style of deck. I think that's a terrible game plan against anyone who's managed to compress. And Konosuba Goddess is a deck that people can farm against pretty easily, because no one plays the 7k or anything. And I think SAO is going to be the same, because SAO never offers any threats up at level 1 that you usually can't deal with. And yeah, you can stay and play the 1/8k Arsenal, but like, there's a lot of stock cost involved in all of this. And there's a reason SAO does not typically play advanced summons, because one, their advanced summons are really expensive and they want to conserve stock, and two, they don't really have any good advanced summons, really. The other problem with this is that, unlike Eris, you can't summon 2 of these to get that, like, I think 5 is a significant number over 4 when it comes to attacking multiple times early, because that's just, like, the difference between landing 2 hits and landing 1 hit at level 2 against an opponent is so huge. And, like, that's what I underestimate about Eris, but at the same time, it's also, like, Eris's weaknesses are not incompetentness. So I think that this card is significantly weaker than Eris in the context of Eris. Don't be like advanced summoning multiples, restanding twice. So don't use it for that purpose. But as a link attack target, I think it is more than fine. I mean, that's my skill.
Any thoughts, Mr. Penguin?
Not really.
Niche, or you could even go
I
like,
don't know.
you could go like playable minus, maybe playable.
Do you think it's playable minus? I feel like niche, right? So it would. I actually think it only goes in the link attack deck. I actually think it only goes in the link attack deck.
It goes in a
And
Xenon
Xenon.
waifu deck.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it goes anywhere except link attack deck either. I'm just saying that trying to force this in the same capacity as Eris is not going to work out for you.
Shout out to Random Muramoto.
All right. On to the main attraction, I guess.
Yep. Next card is the Link Attack Kirito we've all heard so much about. He's a 3/2/9/5. When this is placed from hand to stage, look at the top X cards of your deck, where X is Avatar Net, and add one of those cards to hand, the rest go to Waiting Room. Climax combo. Pay 3, ditch 2, put this in the Waiting Room. When another character attacks, so any other character, if Return of the Black Swordsman is in the Climax zone, you may pay that rather significant cost. If you do, choose a Link Attack character that isn't Link Attack Kirito in your Waiting Room, and put it in this card slot. So Return of the Black Swordsman is Pants, which is good, I guess. What can I say? And this effect is, like, it seems costly, but you have to remember that not only are you getting a card back to attack with, but you're also getting another stock via that card's attack. And oftentimes, you're getting more cards, because Link Attack Sinon is a cantrip, Link Attack Silica is a Link Attack Elizabeth. Link Attack Elizabeth is a cantrip. Link Attack Silica is a heal. Link Attack Arsenal gives you back 1 stock. So you can customize it to where you can make it work even with kind of like sketchy resources. Yeah, it was mentioned earlier that this is probably just strictly better than Switch.
Possibly.
I'm inclined to agree. It's more customizable, and that's already a good thing.
I think it's probably. I mean, it's probably a lot less resource intensive to get 5 attacks. I think it's actually a lot less resource intensive to get 5 attacks with Switch. I'm talking about Switch compared to this.
Okay, fair enough. This is weaker, less stuff than Switch is.
I also think you tend to end. I think you'll probably tend to end the turn with less stock. I haven't played this combo, so
yeah, I think it needs testing.
This is like something I'd have to think. But like in this is a set with anti-damage, like has money counter, right? So consideration for a finishing lineup is how much stock you're going to end the turn with.
Yeah, money counter is a trap, but we'll
sure. I mean, but like it obviously affects like if Switch is playable with money, and this is not.
That's true. That is a plus.
That's a factor here. I just haven't played this combo enough to be able to readily answer that. So.
But you can only wait. Does this have the power smile rune text? I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
don't know.
It procs as many times as it procs as infinite amount of times per turn. So you can
Wait.
choose when to. So if you miss the timing for the first activation, you can still use it like the next time a character attacks.
So it's not quite TP written text, which needed a
Oh,
strict.
sorry. Yeah, TP Rin is once per turn. Yeah. No,
Oh,
this
so
is
that's not the return.
this is like this is very much like Switch.
Oh, this
in
card's
that
good
regard.
then. I think it's better than Switch. You end the turn with more stuff. You actually end the turn with more stuff.
Do you?
Yeah, you do. This combo is paid. Well, I'm saying if you sax. No wait. So wait. Never mind. See, you don't cost one. Wait, but if you call out Asuna, you end the turn with more stuff.
But that means you're calling out Asta,
I mean,
which
yeah.
is okay, I guess. There is some modulation actually, which is pretty cool. You can choose between one soul, base 2 soul beaters, and they all have like different effects. The
Imagine
Asuna stocks on play. The Silica heals. Elizabeth Burns on attack. So Xenon restands. This dude.
Also, imagine like triggering climaxes mid combo. I mean standbys. I think that's why Japan's doing like pan standby right now.
What?
Wait, but you don't get extra attacks out of standby in this deck.
Do you not?
No, it comes in
you-
tapped.
You can trigger a Kirito.
Oh,
on,
sure,
like, your
you
second
can.
attack,
Okay.
and then play over.
All right. Sure. Okay. Okay. All right. But some sack factor here. It seems very comparable to Switch. What would you give this?
Playable.
Just playable?
Yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure how to judge this as of yet. Playable is probably reasonable.
Okay.
I think in combination it might go up to playable plus. I'm again I'm
yet to be
not, I'm
determined,
not
though.
entirely sure I can read this properly.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, next card. Sinon being suspicious. That is the right card, right? Yeah. So this is a 0/0. If there are 2 or fewer cards in stock, this gains 1/5, and the worst type of encore by a long shot, like a very long shot. Put another character with either avatar or net from your stage in your clock.
Well, you'd use this. Well, like this is like a tri-field card, right? You'd use a card that like you crashed or something.
I hate this effect so much.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what you do.
Ironically, its first skill is shit with tri-fielding.
Yeah, with the
So it's a
tri-field, because
lose-lose.
it'll be. Yeah. I don't know, man. There are so many better cards than this. So many.
Are we gonna just call it bad?
I think that's reasonable. I want to call it bad.
Okay.
I agree.
Alright, next card. SAO Survivors, Asuna and Kazuto. So 1/0/1/5. During your opponent's turn, all of your other characters with either avatar or net trait gain 1k power. So this is the global support we mentioned earlier. When this is placed from hand stage, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your library and add up to 1 of them, add it to your hand. Ditch a card from your hand. So it's like a draw 1 ditch. It's a draw ditch, but with the top 2 cards of the deck.
I think this is the first time SAO's gotten this effect, this filter effect.
Might be.
I think it's pretty compelling. Like as an
I think it's reasonable. to play this card.
obviously, if you have a use for the global, it's a lot better. But you might just play this just for that second effect.
Yeah. So I talked about it in like a video I made, but it's pretty good at level 2 when you drop down a Kirito and you can see the first card and then make a decision after on whether you want to play this or not. It's really just because you either have like a reveal a character and it's like you feel pretty good about that, so just swing, or you reveal like a book or a bar which you don't mind grabbing for each. You know what I mean? It's just like the amount of information you're getting in tandem with this card and like the Kirito 1/0 is actually pretty nice. It's a nice pairing at level 2.
I like this card. I think it's really good with my favorite card from this set, which I'll talk about that one later. But I don't think it's anything more than just like a straight playable.
I think it's playable plus, actually. I'll give it the playable plus.
You reckon? Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I think it's good enough in a lot of enough SAO builds. It's like your best proactive hand filter.
Mm.
There is actually no other card that fits into the slot function as good as well as this card does.
Fair enough. I think that's a reasonable assessment.
Dude, it's like a 2-card Azusa, man.
2 cards. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. Sinon, reliable helper. It's a 1/04K because Sinon didn't have enough 6Ks. For each of your other avatar net traits, this gains 500 power, so 6K. And when its attacks, if trustworthy shooting is in the climax zone, it's revealed atop card of your deck. If it is either an avatar or net trait, put it in your hand. Oh, Sinon finally got that level 1 combo. Again, shoutouts to Randall Muramoto.
Sinon waifu. It's probably niche. It's like a decent plussing effect. The deck didn't have it before, but like you wouldn't play this in any other deck, right?
No, I don't think so. It's definitely not playable over like the 6 or 7 climax combos that have been introduced recently. Like I definitely think that's every single one of those is better.
Mm-hmm.
The leaf is pretty bad, but yeah, that's not really impressive for this card. Okay, next card. Kirito, Battle on the AR, 1/05K. Oh, come on. No way. Anyway, 1/05K, when it attacks, choose one of your other characters with either avatar net. That character gains X power. X is 500 times the number of your other avatar net characters. You could play this with the time to get serious Kirito, right?
Yo, the synergies. Where's Mr. Penguin?
What synergy? With the clean cut?
With Shima, yeah, dude.
Dude, I find it cooler to save the 3/2. I don't know about this one.
No, you pump the clean cut with this card.
I know, but I'm just saying it's cooler to pump with a 3/2. It feels.
Why not pump with both?
Because when you like, the thing is like saving this card is less compelling than saving a 3/2.
No, I'm not saying you save this card. I'm saying you save the 3/2, but you pump with this card anyways.
Damn, dude, you're right. Dude, you're right.
Dude, I'm just helping you out, man.
You're right, man. This card is good meta plus then.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
Says you.
In all seriousness, though, SAO isn't an on reverse type of deck, right? And it got some on reverse combos this set. I don't think this card is like. I think this card is actually worse than playable. It's like playable minus for me.
You say good meta plus, dude.
Yeah, well, I was just flirting.
I don't know, playable minus, right?
Yeah.
Like it.
I think it's.
There's no use for it, right? Like there's actually like no.
That's probably true. If you assume that. Yeah.
Doesn't really do a great deal, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine. We're finally at the card that I care about. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, you love lollies, don't you?
Yeah, sure. That's the reason I like this one. So Yui, support you couldn't ask more from. It's a 1175, so it's already meta stats according to Japan. If the level of the character opposite this is higher than this card's level, it cannot front attack. So yeah, that's annoying, but whatever. And climax combo. Put a card from your hand in stock as the cost. So this is interesting. When this attacks, you may do that. Put a card from your hand into stock. If you do, choose a Sorry for the Wait, which is a stock soul, in your climax zone, and return it to your hand.
Okay.
It's just straight
Why
up
is
awesome.
this-
You get to slam a stock soul every single turn. Just over and over and over. It's so good.
Why don't you play 7 pants and 1 stock soul then?
Because that's stupid.
Well, you can slam it every turn, man.
You're not gonna trigger pants. Like, okay, so basically, if you play this with the Amagi clone that we've gotten,
But you have to
It
pay a
breaks
stock
even on-
for this character.
what do you mean?
You have to pay a stock to play this.
Yeah, and then you stock soul, and then you put a card from hand into stock.
Well, then this has to survive.
It's a 7/5. You can play the 1K support. You can play with Seed. You can play with Vice Commander. Vice Commander plus the Amagi is a 3K counter.
Damn, man. Clean cut is a worse card. You're right. Why was I not playing this card in my deck?
Hey man, you
Uh,
love this card. I think this card has more potential than like most other cards in this entire set, simply because it lets you play Climax every turn. This is like comparable to Kome in my reckoning. Obviously not as good. You have like a lot more. You have to invest a lot more. You need to play this card. You probably need to invest the search in this card, pay the stock for this card, and you need to have that stock soul, which eats up Climax space. But ultimately, I think this card is just. This is the beginning of something special. If they print another card like this, like a 1/0 perhaps, with like a stock soul as well, this could be extremely broken in the future.
That's what we say
Yeah.
about standby.
Is it? Is it what I said it's about standby?
This could be extremely broken in the future.
Yeah, it could, if you printed something ridiculous. But all you need is this same effect on a slightly better card, like a lower costed card, and it might just be amazing.
Well, if it's a lower cost of card, it's not going to survive, probably.
Yeah, probably not, but then you can just play more.
Dude,
Because
clean
lower
cut.
costed cards, at the worst, you can just play down and swing.
I'm just...
This card is way better than clean cut, man. What can I say? You're right.
You're a shill. $15 clean cut, strictlybroken.tcg.com.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes cute things look cute, but they're just bad.
Yeah,
Niche-
sometimes
niche
they look like
plus.
this.
It's niche
Like,
plus.
I know it's super cute, man. Like, it's such a cute effect, but like,
Dude, you were talking about saving Yunas with your 3/5 clean cut.
you're talking about reusing stock souls forever. Yeah,
Yeah, use it for 3 turns in a row. That's crazy. Like, that's incredibly powerful. Haven't you played TP before Kome got banned?
yeah, but like,
TP was also, like, searching for cards. I don't know.
You can brainstorm and play Amagi.
That's like... Yeah, but now you just... But TP did all that for free. And it won field at the same time. Like, but it didn't, like... I don't know. What we're really asking is for TP to get unmanned.
Sure, if that's how you want to take it. But I still think this card has good potential, or at least this effect has good potential. And I'm not going to let anyone tell me otherwise, because I legitimately think this card just has a lot of potential.
I mean,
Maybe not this exact card, but you know what I mean.
I have 25 in stock, so if anyone wants to buy one,
Send me 4.
okay, I'll send you 4, dude. I'll jizz on each one.
Oh, shit.
Alright, you want to talk about this card, right? You think this card is good? I think it's like... It's probably pretty strong, right? So Yui, full of energy. 3295.
Yue? Did you say Yue?
No, I said Yui. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may this gains 500, where 500 is the number of your characters with either avatar or net trait. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If you do, put all of your opponent's stock in the waiting room, and your opponent puts the same number of cards from their library into his or her stock. So, stock swap, strong. And during your opponent's turn, when damage taken by you is not cancelled, if this is in the front row, look at the top card of your deck and put it either on top or in the waiting room.
I think the first effect, I think the only relevant effect here is the stock swap, right? Everything else is just like whatever.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. Um, this probably is only like super good with Xenon. I think the other decks just have other cards they have to be playing.
I
Right.
think the stock swap is an immensely powerful effect in the current meta, but
Well, it's
I don't
only
know. This is like
this card. This
almost
effect.
a waste.
Say again. Sorry.
I think it's almost a waste of a slot.
Well, I think this only really fits um, in like a Xenon game plan. Right?
Yeah.
Like all the other decks just have other cards they need to be playing, and I don't know if you'd be willing to use a search on this card in those other decks.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
it. I
fair
think
enough.
I think the effect is like to level. I think the effect is only good if you're proactively refreshing your opponent or putting your opponent in a position where their deck is going to be refreshed very soon due to this effect. I think
Yeah.
in any other scenario, like even in like a lot of scenarios where you might be forcing a refresh, sometimes it's just like they just triggered, so you don't even need this card anyways.
Mm. Mm.
What's nice is just it. So when you say the only relevant effect is the stock swap, you're not. But in a dedicated build that has some money counters, it is also a moneyable lane. It also does have scry. It's just it is actually a packed utility level 3 card. As a one of, I feel like this is a very like it has like 3 effects that come up in one card. You know what I mean?
Right,
I think
but
the
you're
only relevant
including
effect is
the
stock
but
swap.
you're including the effect because of the stock swap. You wouldn't include the effect for like everything else is just like extra, like
Yeah,
cherry on top.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's what I meant.
convenient. Yeah, I agree. But it's convenient that it has other uses. Like at the same time, if it only stock swap, but it didn't have the 2 others, would I play it? Ah, maybe. Maybe you're right. You're probably right. Yeah.
Well, if it didn't, if it had the other, if it just had the stock swap, it would probably be like a cost 1. That's what the other profiles that just have the stock swap are costed. They're just like 2/1s. That would probably make this a lot more playable
Yeah.
in a lot of more scenarios, right? You're paying the extra stock for these extra level 3 abilities, which may or may not be entirely useful.
Yeah. I agree.
Fair enough.
It was, I don't know, playable or niche. It's a powerful effect, but like, I'll give
Yeah.
it a.
I think we can put it as playable. I think it can be put into enough decks that it goes there and not niche.
Sure. Oh, hey, look! You can loop this climax too. Let's talk about the potential of this card.
Kirito, Arsenal's lover. This is definitely not as good a climax loop. So it's assist, but only for level 0s, which is freaking terrible. Assist all your level 0 or lowers get 1k power. And climax combo, pay 2 at the start of climax zone. You may pay that 2 cost. If so, search your deck for up to 1 following the promise, put it in the climax zone and shuffle your deck.
You can play the climax as soon as you search it, I believe.
Damn.
Yeah, the value.
Is
You
this
get a
an actual
free
card?
You get a free. You get a climax to play, dude. Every turn.
It costs 2. How's
Yeah,
that
but
free?
You generate 3 stock every turn. You play a book every turn.
No,
Easy.
this card is terrible. It's a bad card.
It has so much potential.
Phasing out, but I don't think I want to hear what you're saying. 'cause
So
this
much
guy is terrible.
potential. So much potential in this.
This guy. This guy is terrible.
Okay.
Come on, they're not even comparable. Like, if you're gonna be serious, these two cards, that card and this card, are not comparable.
I think both cards have a fairly equal shot at making it into decks. Sorry.
Oh, look, that's fair.
Next card, I guess.
That's fair. Cards do not use the AR, so bond with the wave attack arsenal, so the old 3/2 in the switch combo. It's a ditch bond. And you can pay 1, sack this to look up 4 cards from the top of your deck, add an avatar net character to your hand, and put the rest in the waiting room.
It's okay, I guess.
I'm struggling really hard.
I don't think the deck actually needed this.
No, I don't think so either.
You only need 1, and you're not like looking to recur this effect, like the wave attack effect. Since it's not even a healer, and the Asana like gets you everything else. So like, I don't know. This is like pretty whatever. I don't know. Maybe, but the effect is still okay. So, playable minus. The effect is still fine.
Yeah, playable minus. That's probably okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Love Struck Claim. When this is placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a avatar net trait, this card gains 2k for the turn. When this attacks, if you have 1 or fewer other characters, you may put the top card of your deck in the waiting room. If it's level 0 or lower character, put it in any slot in the back row. This is kind of cool. It combines the top check with like a sort of valuable effect.
I have a better version of this card, I think. Like the Silica from Reddit.
I don't think this is going to see play.
Yeah. I agree. But
Fine wife.
Yeah.
it's probably fine. It's like it's like a fairly sizable on play. Is like you could say it's maybe like a quarter of a plus or half a plus if you want to evaluate the second effect like that.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't know. I'm going to give it playable minus.
Sure.
There are so many better options you have.
I don't disagree with that. It's fine. Okay.
Alright. Yui, Sweets Time, 1045. When this is placed from hand to stage, it gains X power, where X is 500 times the number of your other avatar or net traits. And then when this is placed from hand to stage, you may ditch a card. If you do, add a investigative report from your waiting room to hand. Investigative report is terrible. It's one of those memory events.
Yeah, it gives global 1k when it's in memory.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Bro.
Yeah. It's a costless discard out. Okay, next card.
Alright.
Oh, my favorite card from the set.
Yeah, dude, it's your favorite character.
So the next card is A Guild 1065. When this is not Kendrick. When this is placed from hand to stage, choose one of your opponent's front row characters. That character gains 3k for the turn. Then when this attacks, you may shuffle 2 characters from your waiting room to your deck. If you do, this gains 1 soul for the turn.
This is probably the worst link attack target.
Yeah, I don't think it's close.
Dude, just because of his nationality doesn't mean he's the worst link attack.
You don't even need. This is like it's like meant to be an oversized slot in the link attack deck, I guess. But like.
No, but see,
you don't even need this for the soul modulation because you have 2 soul beaters you can play.
If you play this with link attack, then the downside doesn't happen. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, I love costless 6/5 beaters at level 3. It's like
Yeah, like if you want a one soul attacker with link attack, you play the Arsenal.
Yes.
This card is like niche minus, and that's generous.
Dude, say you're trying to play around
Um,
triple Akagi,
I'm gonna
but their
call
field
this
is just too
bad.
small.
All right.
I'm just gonna
Next
call
card,
this bad.
Yui, Gathering Data, 2/6K. Assist all your level 3 or higher characters in front of this gain 2k power. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay 1, ditch 2. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 link attack characters, add them to your hand.
Ooh.
The fact that the character is costed already just kind of kills it for me, I think. Because you don't necessarily need this assist effect. Because the link attack characters don't even need to reverse. And, yeah, I just don't want to pay an extra stock for this effect. If it were, like, costless, it'd be pretty okay, I think. But, like, you just don't need this, you don't need this assist effect, and then by virtue of that, you're just essentially paying 2 to drop search twice, which is, like, not that great.
This is this is actually just niche. I think you can just play it as 2/1 support.
Sure, meh. It's just, oh, oops. I'm gonna give it a niche minus.
Kazuto and Asuna snuggling up 2275. During your opponent's turn, for each of your other avatar on that, oh, it's not on the screen, is it yet?
It is on the screen now.
Yeah, for each of your other avatar net characters, this gains 1/5 power. So this is pretty freaking huge. It's 13/5 if you've got a full field on the opponent's turn. Standby target, I guess.
2 soul beater.
Yeah, I guess.
It gets, oh, sorry, it doesn't get 1k in the center because names.
Names.
I don't know, niche.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Not much else I'll say. Next card.
Alright then. Next card is Eagle, sweating after a hard fight. This is a very gay card. During your opponent's turn, all your other characters
Not
gain
even
500
sweating
power.
that much.
Oh. And when your other character is placed from the stage to waiting room, if this is in the back row, you may pay cost. So sack this. If you do, put that character rested in the slot. In the slot it was in. So this is clearly what you're supposed to play with the 1/1 Yui.
Sure.
Yes.
If you want to go there.
I think there's enough Agil cards to make a waifu deck now.
I'll let you discover that. Alright, next card. What are we giving that? Like a playable minus?
Is it a playable minus? I think it's niche, actually.
I don't know.
Maybe playable minus. Hey, but you know what isn't niche?
Kirito, Overwhelming Spirit, 002k. If every marker under this gains 1 level and 1/5.
Yo, we have
the
to talk
battle
about... Yo.
Wait, is this the card?
No.
No, it's...
You skipped a
oh,
card.
God. Maybe I unconsciously tried to skip it.
Bad.
I am not interested in this card.
Alright.
You can talk about it. I'm
it has
gonna play
cool
this
art.
mobile game.
That's about it. This also has cool art, this next card.
Okay, are we on to the next card?
Yeah.
Sure. Kirito, Overwhelming Spirit, 002k. This is the marker thing I just read. For each marker under this, it gains 1k and 1/5. And when you get something like this, you get the top card of your deck as a marker, but you do get to know what it is.
You can save this with clean cut.
Just continues to plus all throughout the game, and it's a better turn 1 play if they even look.
This is probably... I don't think this is good.
No, it's not good.
Yeah. I don't see a deck where you play this over anything.
I don't even.
Yeah.
This card is bad. Next one is Kirito, Seeking a Clue, 104k. If there are 5 or more cards in hand, this gains 2/5 and character encore.
That's not bad.
Generic beater. Goes in the Kirito waifu deck. Because, you needed this card in your Kirito waifu deck.
Seems like it.
It's like a playable minus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's go playable minus. I'm not very enthused by that card.
It's just a card.
Alright.
Next card is the vanilla. Wait, this next card is just a vanilla. So, after that.
Alright. So the card after that is Sinon, Debating Coolly. It's a 2/1/2k. When you use this card's backup, if you have another avatar or net character, choose a character to gain 1k for the turn, and 1 Batman character, right? So it's a 3/5 counter. Okay.
Just a counter.
Yeah. Not impressive. Alright. Klein? Oh, did we rate that? It's like playable, right?
Playable minus, I think.
Sure. Klein, Emergency Participation in Battle. It is a 2/1/6/5. If you have 4 more other avatar net characters, this gains -1 level in hand, and for each other level 0 or lower character, it gains 1k. So, this is like a 2/9k you can summon early.
This is the payoff for, well, this is part of the payoff for running that, book combo.
Yeah. Sure. Why not? I don't know, man. I'm not gonna rate this card highly. This is like a extremely mediocre card.
What do you want to rate it? Playable minus? Niche? Or just bad?
I think it's bad. I don't see this ever seeing play.
Isn't this pretty good standby? No, it's not
No,
even.
you have
No, it's what are you talking?
targets. You have way better targets. Okay. Here's the real payoff.
Kazuto, Somehow Lonely, 2/1/9/5. I'm sorry, is this a Toma card?
Yes?
This gets -2 level on stage, and when your climax is placed to the climax zone, this gains X power for turn, where X is 500 times the number of characters with avatar or net. Look, I'm assuming this is flavor for him restarting at level 0 or some shit. This buffs decline. There's the Count Kirito support for level 0s that we already called crap. What can I say? Stop. Don't play this card.
But he's level 0, so he gets 1k from your, support.
You are factually correct.
That's,
We can be level 0 suicided.
It don't matter, because you're playing books for free every turn.
Dude, can you imagine like a stock suicide just setting this to stock?
Dude, have you never played Toma Dot deck? Do you know how hard it is to deal with that shit? Your 3/3 gets kicked to stock by a rando 0 they're playing for no reason. Or 3/2 rather. It's the worst.
This is the, card we were talking about before with the ditch bond.
Yeah, it is. It's a 1/1 that does nothing. It goes straight to memory, and then during your opponent's turn, if this is in memory, all your characters gain 1k.
Yeah,
This is bad. Do not play this. I thought this was good when I first started Weiss. I've come a relatively long way since then. Ordinal number 1. 2/1. If you don't have an avatar on that trade, you can't play this from hand. Mill the top card of your deck, choose a opponent's level X or lower character and put it on the bottom of the library where X is the level of the card you milled.
Katsuhira on an event.
Katsuhira effect sucks.
Yeah, no, well, no, it's not that Katsuhira effect sucks. It's that Katsuhira effect as a 1-for-1 trade-off, which in this game is like a -1, sucks.
Agreed.
Bad. Okay.
It's pretty bad. All right. Blue, and we'll be back at some point with yellow.